Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Jay here. I am ready for a date and I just thought I would come and record the video. I've been trying to record this video for I don't know how long, but I've been trying to record this video. This video is my Rolling Loud review. I know this isn't really Rolling Loud attire, but you know, I had to show it. I had to show it. I'm just gonna get myself a drink. Be right back. Yeah. Okay. Cheers. Yeah, so I just wanted to give you guys a Rolling Loud review whilst I am getting ready for my date. Oh my gosh. We are headed to Coco Asia. I've never been, but I've heard so many people like, oh, they got shisha, they got so many things. So that's where we're going today. It's pouring down with the rain, so I do apologize if you can hear the rain in the back. Nevertheless, we're giving a Rolling Loud review because I need you guys to know what's up. I went to Rolling Loud Portugal. It wasn't Miami. Because I really did appreciate the Portugal lineup and I knew Portugal, so I felt like, you know what, I'll be safe. I've been there before. I went there for Afro Nation in 2019, so I was quite familiar with the area. So I booked my Rolling Loud ticket. I did book it installmentally, so I reckon it was like maybe £100 per month. And I think it totaled to £300 and maybe £33, something along those lines. So it was quite okay. Like, I was fine with it. I was happy because the lineup was a lineup for me. It was Lil Baby, it was Roddy Rich, it was Rico Nasty, it was Flo Milli, it was a lot of people. I've got the UK girls, Ivorian Doll, Miss Banks, Shensia, she's not UK, but Shensia, Shah Simone. So that was like obviously like a big deal. So yeah, I loved the lineup. So I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna go. But it was my first like official solo trip. I kind of went on a semi solo trip in Miami, but officially it was my solo trip to Portugal. So first things first, booked the ticket, booked the flight. I reckon it was about the same price, maybe 300 and something, or maybe even less, I'm not sure. I'll confirm in the description. So yeah, it was pretty good, quite affordable for me, especially going alone. The only thing that I would say was, I wouldn't say it was expensive, but it would have obviously been more affordable going with one other person, was where I was staying. I think I paid about £500 or just over £500 for where I was staying, and it wasn't like on the strip, because when everyone was hearing about Rolling Loud, obviously it was, how do I describe it, it was basically like, you know, inflation on the hotels. So I think on average for a room you pay minimum like 700 towards maybe 1,000. I think on average it was like, if you're going in a good place close to the strip, 1,000. And obviously that's not really affordable for me, it's not affordable for me, period. So those were like the main things pre-flying. Another thing was that I had to obviously do my own hair, went to do my nails. My friend did my nails for me, and I went to do my feet locally. So another thing, so those were the only other really real expenses. I bought a few little things here and there, but I wasn't like doing up super outfit of the day. I did obviously make it look like that on social media, but that wasn't really what I was doing. So yeah, on the way to the flight, it cost me about £70 to get from where I stay to Gatwick, which actually wasn't so bad. I thought it was £50, but it was actually 70. But it wasn't actually that bad. The guy was on time, very reliable, and I love stuff like that, especially when you're a solo traveler. And I'm assuming that price was on the condition that, you know, I had hand luggage. That was my only luggage, hand luggage and a backpack. So it really is just the journey. And then yeah, so got on the flight, all of that was smooth. I think the flight was a bit delayed, maybe 45 minutes, but it was all pretty smooth. So when I landed, I had already booked airport transfer. I had booked airport transfer with where I was staying, and I'll put where I was staying below because it was such a nice place. Like, when I tell you it was such a nice place, it was such a nice place. Like the The landlords were so, like, they communicated so well. They were very speedy with communication, very reliable. So I had managed to contact the guy via WhatsApp, let him know that I'm there. He told me whereabouts he would stay, which was very close to where all the arrivals were. Met up with him, and I felt very confident because, you know, a lot of other people were waiting for airport transfer. So, you know, being a solo traveler, it was very much like, okay, it's smooth. He let me play my music in the car. I was playing, come and give me all my time and affection, come and give me all my time and affection. So when I got there, initially I didn't realize it was like 3 other villas that's similar to mine. So when I got there, I was like trying to like open the key to another villa, because they have key safes, which I think is amazing, where the key is, there's a code, you put the code in, get the key out, and when you're leaving you can do the same thing. But it was good to know that there were other people that were there, quite close to me, and they were also going to the concert, so that was pretty good to know. So I got there, got in, made sure that I freshened up a bit, and then I headed straight to the strip, because I was like, oh my god, I have to get my wristband. I forgot about all these things that you have to do before you actually attend the concert. I'll just have a sip. Ooh, that's rum and what? Apple and mango juice. Got to the strip. That was pretty good because I was able to like meet a few people along the way, able to catch some rays, kind of gauge how far I really am walking distance from the main beach, the strip, in the daylight. And so that was quite great. That was day 0. And day 0, I was planning on going out. There were no Ubers. Like, there were no Ubers available. I got ready. I was ready to go. There was an after party or the preliminary Rolling Loud party. And I couldn't make it because I was too far and I didn't feel confident because I had already walked during the day and I had, you know, been howled at or God knows what. As a woman, I just didn't feel confident doing that again. In the night, there was no, you would never catch me doing that. So that's kind of like a downside about like a solo travel. It's like, for example, if there's no transportation, you're not close to the strip, go to sleep. So I ended up getting a pizza locally, which was good. I had a bit of something to help me rest, which is good. But then another thing that happened, oh my god. So as I told you, there were 3 other villas. 2 of them were the same layout. One of them was the same layout as mine. So that's 2 out of 3, just like mine, including mine. And then there's a third one where it's like a narrow pathway, but it's covering the top of both of our villas. So there's 2 villas, and then there's a narrow pathway, and then you go upstairs, and the upstairs is the main villa for that third apartment. Tell me why. It's like 2:00 and no, it's not 2:00, it's like 1 something, and I'm hearing loads of noises. Like, I'm hearing men, like at least 3 or 4 men speaking, laughing, and then I just heard loud noises. I'm like, what's this loud noise? This is very peculiar. Like, I feel like I recognize these noises, but it's not with 2 people. It's like at least with 3 or 4. It's definitely just not 2. But the noise was very like, these guys were having sex. And it was interesting to me because it wasn't like a man and a woman. It was men, like a group of men. It was obviously an orgy. But it was so intriguing to me. It was intriguing to me because it was sounding like very aggressive, and that's not positive or negative. It's just a fact of my recollection of the events. And yeah, I was quite stunned. I definitely feel like, in my opinion, it isn't to say like it was just from the noise and how, I guess, abrasive they were being in regards to obviously not caring for who was in, who wasn't in, just making noise because they can. They probably were on something. But aside from that, yeah, that's what happened. So it was like, here I am trying to just have a chilled night, watch something whilst I rest and wallow over the fact that I can't go out. And there's like at least 3 or 4 men having an orgy. I was like, oh my god, welcome to Portugal. So that was crazy. I found it quite funny. And And yeah, I guess I just, left that alone. The next day I caught up, like, messaging wise with a friend, and they were like, listen girl, you did not miss out. I was like, okay, cool, at least I didn't miss out. You never want to really feel like you missed out, especially day one, especially solo travel. So day one, I made sure I was like, listen, today is the day that we serve, because we don't know what this trip is going to bring. Today we are serving. So I think that day, I don't know if I went out again to get a few groceries. I may have got a few groceries, like chicken, actual things, like food, just to help me. Got a few things, like, mainly like chicken and fruit, chicken, salad, fruit. That was like my my trip, my appetite for the trip: chicken, fruit, and obviously fruit for the drinks. So yeah, I got some stuff, walked around, and I actually met up with someone. I was like, oh my god, I'm going to Rolling Loud. She's like, I'm going to pick up my wristband. She was there alone too. So I was like, oh my god, girl, I'm here alone too. Let's link up. So that was a vibe. Meeting up with someone who was traveling solo too. So after that, I had, what did I do? I got dressed. I got dressed in my orange two-piece. That killed the gram. If I do say so myself. It killed. I love that two-piece. It was just basically bra, pant, bikini, and an overlay, but it was just giving. I don't know, the orange was just giving. So I love that. That day one, I think that was the day Rico was performing, so I was very like, I have to see her. I saw Flo Milli before her, because Flo Milli was before her set. Flo Milli, do not sleep on Flo Milli. She is a dope ass performer. She had energy. She was like making you like listen to her music, like you really wanted to like join in. I loved her energy. I loved her energy. And then when Rico came on, obviously, I love Rico. I will always love Rico. I'm a Rico stan. Like, Rico stan. The only thing I was a bit upset about was the fact that there weren't as many like Sugar Trap. I don't know if maybe I haven't listened to the whole album, but I believe I have. But there weren't as many like Sugar Trap Part 2 like records played. But I guess she's trying to cater to the fans, and you just don't know, especially like a lot of these artists, I didn't realize this is their first time in Portugal. And I'm not saying it like it's like a good or bad thing, because last 2019 was my first time, but it's more so to highlight that they are trying to appeal to a crowd. It's their job to make sure that the crowd is hype and the crowd is enjoying their music. And so obviously for me, someone like me who is an OG fan, I would say yes, there were elements of that in there, but it was still like very much, songs for everybody. The white men, and I mean that with all due respect, but that's just what it was. So yeah, like I think, did Lil Baby play on that day? I don't know if Lil Baby played on the day. I would say just to round up the other 2 days, because I feel like it's easier to do that. The other 2 days, like all in all, the artists performed. I loved Roddy Ricch's performance. I loved JME's performance. I took so many snippets of his set, because I was so enamored by his energy. His energy is so like captivating. I love even DaBaby's performance was pretty good. There's another like cute tiny little thing, I'll put her name on, I can't remember her name for some reason, but she was good. She also came on with J. Cole. Lil Baby, nice, the drip, oh my gosh, Lil Baby and DaBaby. No, wait, Roddy Ricch, the drip was dripping. Listen, these guys, they're cashing out, so a lot of respect to them. And their craft. The only thing I didn't like was that all the girls, a majority of the women, were put on so early. Of course there were people in Rolling Loud, people that like maybe they were there from the very beginning to enter, but people that are trying to like come a little bit later, we miss them. We actually miss them, so that was a bit of a shame. And where I wasn't staying close, there was no room for me, like when I came initially, to go and come back. It was just, if I'm gone, I'm gone. Overall, I would recommend going to Rolling Loud. I don't know if I'd recommend Portugal, because I do think it's predominantly, for me, that experience was very much a lot of men. in comparison to like maybe Afro Nation. For example, there were a few times I did feel a little bit uncomfortable, but aside from that, the actual Portugal locals did make me feel so welcome. They offered me drinks, and this is not to say you should take it or you should not take it. I just took it because I felt comfortable, and I like, you know, I'd met them the night before. It was all good, you know. The actual genuine locals that maybe even also went to Afro Nation were just so lovely. I'm so grateful to them for just being so welcoming to me. Just don't know if I would do Rolling Loud again, and if I do it, I reckon it would be like in somewhere like Miami, where I would assume there is like just a bit more of a genuinely diverse crowd. I felt like it was very much just male focused, just wasn't giving the way Afro Nation gives, but it could just be because it's not Afro Nation, and maybe that's where I need to be, and I thought I need to leave Rolling Loud alone. But I've done it once. I don't think I will be doing it again, except I'm working. And I said that last time about Afro Nation, but I did just want to see how Rolling Loud went. So yeah, I would recommend it. The only other thing as well was I lost my camera, but I lost my camera when I was like, I wasn't close to the mosh pit, I was close to the front, and it was just so crazy. I was literally fighting for my life, trying to get out, and I managed to get out. That's why I'm here, but my camera has disappeared. It's gone. It went in a mist. I'm trying to fight for my life, and even when I tried to go back, and I was fighting for my life again. So I said, you know what, I have life, I have the gift of life, fuck the camera, I'll get a new one. So yeah, overall I would recommend going abroad, traveling solo. I don't think I'd recommend Rolling Loud to a T, but I would recommend going to a festival. It's a great way to meet people. Even on the last day I was supposed to go for a dolphin trip, but I was too late, unfortunately. But I did end up meeting up with some people that I just randomly had met at the Rolling Loud, and that was nice to just like have a drink and chill and just vibe. So yeah, definitely recommend solo trip. Probably would not recommend Rolling Loud. That's my 2 cents. I hope it's useful. And yeah, check out my social media if you want to see any pics. Check out my Instagram. Yeah, my Instagram, my TikTok, and yeah, DM me if you have any questions. Bye.